right, we're back here for more Terrence's Road to the Super Bowl, and this is my Super Bowl closet. Yeah, I got a Super Bowl closet. I've covered 30 Super Bowls, and most of the stuff that I got from the Super Bowl is back here in this closet here, all right? And I want to talk about T-shirts today. I'm a big T-shirt guy. Matter of fact, right here, this T-shirt right here, you go back, this is Terrence's Road to the Super Bowl. Of course, it's here in Atlanta on February the 3rd. Go back to a couple of roads back, on these videos, and you'll see me talk about this T-shirt. And just a little brief reminder, I got this from Doug Williams. Well, actually from his mother, all right? 1988 Super Bowl in San Diego. That is the Super Bowl where Doug Williams destroyed John Elway and the Denver Broncos, all right? So at the beginning part of that week, I befriended Doug Williams and asked him, I said, hey, when the Super Bowl's over, this before anybody knew he was going to do all that stuff, I said, can I come down to Zachary, Louisiana and spend a day with you? Well, lo and behold, we saw what happened. I mean, the MVP and all that kind of stuff. So I'm the only reporter that was there. So I spent a day with him, and his mother's making these T-shirts, and but anyway, go back and look at the video. I talk all about that, all right? But as for today, you say that, well, why is he wearing that T-shirt from Miami Redhawks football? I mean, what does that have to do with the football, with the Super Bowl? Well, I'm going to tell you, all right? First of all, Miami University, I went there. I'm a Miami, Ohio graduate. We're talking about the one in Oxford, Ohio, not that hideous thing down in Florida. That's the bad Miami. I went to the good Miami, founded in 1809. Okay, the charter was signed by George Washington, but the cradle of coaches. I did this whole video with, Road to the Super Bowl with all the statues of Paul Brown, Eric Parsegian, Weeb Eubank, Bo Schembechler. You go right down the line, Paul Dietzel, and all these guys just about have some kind of Super Bowl connection. Remember that? It's unbelievable. So, but that's not really why I'm wearing this today per se. I'll just tell you this. Every day I've got this dilemma. I got some Super Bowl T-shirts in here. I'm going to show you this in a minute. Every day I got this dilemma. And that is, when I work out, do I work out in a T-shirt from the alma mater, okay, Miami University, or do I work out in a T-shirt from the hometown team? And what's the hometown team for me? I was born and raised in South Bend, Indiana, home of the University of Notre Dame. Yes! You know about Notre Dame. I mean, Notre Dame right now they're awesome. They could be in a national championship game. They're undefeated. They're ranked number 4 in the country. So I got to decide between the great alma mater and Notre Dame, the hometown team from South Bend, Indiana. That's where everybody is, all the aunts and uncles and cousins and what have you. Look at this. This is one of my older Notre Dame T-shirts. I love this T-shirts, all right? And sometimes I can't decide between Notre Dame and Miami, Ohio, so what I just do is I do this. I just go with both of them, Miami and Notre Dame. I'm set, okay? Now, about the Super Bowl T-shirts. Like I said, I'm a T-shirt guy, and I've covered 30 Super Bowls. So you would think theoretically I would have a T-shirt from every Super Bowl. Not true, because I'm very picky. The T-shirts have got to be good. So if they're not good, I'm not going to get them. And plus the fact they got to be pretty expensive. But anyway, they got to be good T-shirts. And then to be honest with you, the first Super Bowl I covered was in 1980, New Orleans. I was covering the Oakland Raiders for the San Francisco Examiner. 1980 was the first year I covered them. And the first year I covered them, they go to the Super Bowl and they win. They beat the Philadelphia Eagles 24-10. I was there. I was so excited. I wasn't even thinking about buying T-shirts. Okay? So anyway, the next Super Bowl, which would have been Super Bowl 16. Now this is very interesting, folks. I'm working in San Francisco at the Examiner. Okay, the NFC Championship game was in San Francisco between the 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys. The AFC Championship game after that 1981 season was in Cincinnati between the San Diego Chargers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Well, I came to San Francisco from Cincinnati. I love Cincinnati. Okay, I worked at the Cincinnati Enquirer right after I graduated from Miami, Ohio. I graduated from Miami on May 7th, 1978. A week later, started working full-time at the Cincinnati Enquirer and loved it. Okay? So I was given a choice. Do I want to stay in San Francisco and cover that, or do I want to go to Cincinnati? I chose Cincinnati. So what happens in San Francisco? Montana back the pass. He's throwing it. It's caught. It's caught by Dwight Clark. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. It's the catch. It's a throw and the catch. All right. The 49ers go to the Super Bowl, and I missed it. I wasn't there for that. And it was a beautiful day in San Francisco. I mean, it was just, and I remember, and look, here's a little trivia question. Here's a trivia question, folks. CBS did the broadcast back then, all right? Who was the play-by-play announcer for CBS during the game back then? I'll wait. I got some time. Yeah, have you figured it out? Yeah, you haven't gotten it yet? It was Vin Scully. Yeah, Vin Scully. That Vin Scully. Yeah, the baseball. Yeah. You know, it was Vin Scully. All right? And after Joe Montana made the throw and then the catch by Dwight Clark and people going nuts and crazy, there's silence because Vin Scully is letting the reaction of everything take its place, the crowd and the noise. So then after about a few minutes of just nothing except just this mania that's going on at Candlestick Park, and that kind of, then Vince Scully says, "It's Baghdad by the Bay." I watched that. That was the second game, all right? That was the second game. The Bengals and the Chargers, that was the first game. Now let me tell you how I was watching that game. I was watching that game at a hotel in Cincinnati, freezing to death, sitting on the floor, covered with about 4, 5, 6 blankets, with my teeth still chattering, because the everything broke in the hotel as far as the heaters are concerned, because it was the coldest day in the history of Cincinnati, Ohio. It was the coldest day in the history of Ohio. It was the coldest day in the history of the earth. It was the coldest NFL game. Yeah, I was there. Yeah, 1981. 1981 season, 1982, that's when the game was, all right? San Diego Chargers against Cincinnati Bengals at Old Riverfront Stadium, all right? So people say, what about the Ice Bowl? That was colder. Well, no, it was like this. Remember the Ice Bowl? The Ice Bowl took place between the Dallas Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers at the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. That was 1967. That was before Super Bowls. So this was essentially the Super Bowl. You had the Green Bay Packers trying to come from behind, and last play of the game, you got Bart Starr on a quarterback sneak over Jerry Kramer, gets into the end zone. The Packers win. All right, and people were just, it was brutal. It was -13. -13. That was the actual temperature. And the windshield was like in the -35, -37, something like that. That's pretty cold, right? Okay. Well, the game I covered, the AFC Championship game between the Bengals and the Chargers, it was colder. It was colder. All right. First of all, people say, well, wait a minute. Okay, how cold was it? It was so cold that the Ohio River froze over. I'm not kidding. This is no joke. This is no joke. The Ohio River froze over solid. It was so cold when I was walking from the hotel, because, I'm a young guy. I could walk. I don't need to take a cab. Couldn't get a cab anyway. But anyway, I'm walking, and it was about maybe a half mile to a mile. That was the longest half mile to a mile I ever walked in my life. It was so cold. Riverfront Stadium right there on the river. Okay, there you can see the steam rising from the ice of the river, and it was as high as the stadium in the distance. It was eerie. It was cold. So -13 for the Ice Bowl game in December of 1967 between the Dallas Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers at the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. Riverfront Stadium, it was -9. But wait a minute. Let's do some quick math. All right. I was an econ major at Miami University. Let's see, -9, -13. So that means it was 4 degrees colder in Green Bay than it was in Cincinnati. Okay, in 67 and compared to 82. But I'm saying that it was actually colder in Cincinnati because it was. Again, the wind chill factor at that game in Green Bay was like minus 35, minus 36. The wind chill factor in Cincinnati was minus 59. Think about that. It was minus 59 below zero wind chill factor. 20 degrees below wind chill factor, more so than at the frozen tundra Lambeau Field. And I'm telling you, it was cold. All the heaters broke in the press box. I mean, there was no heaters there, and all the tricks that you tried. At one point, living in South Bend, you learn these tricks. And my dad was an AT&T supervisor, so at one point we got transferred to Milwaukee. Now that's a cold place, all right? So yeah, you learn these. You put like newspaper, in your shoes and that kind of stuff. And all that layers. You're talking about layers. Nah, none of that worked. When it's minus 59 below zero and there's no heat in the press box, no heat in the stadiums, it is cold. Yet the Cincinnati Bengals came out there in short sleeve shirts, and the San Diego Chargers were freezing to death. Final score: Cincinnati 27. Cincinnati 27, San Diego 7. Bengals going to the Super Bowl. It's gonna be the Super Bowl between the Bengals and the 49ers. Now, this game actually prepared me for what was to come, because the Super Bowl that year, appropriately, was in Detroit. It was the first time the Super Bowl was in Detroit, and it was miserable. Just like the second Super Bowl in Detroit, I was there too, but that's a whole other story. But it was bad. It was cold. I mean, it was just, and the thing about Super Bowls is, from a reporter standpoint, we're always whining, folks. But from a reporter standpoint, it's all about the week leading up to the Super Bowl. Super Bowl week. It's not just a Super Bowl. I mean, it's in the Silver Dome, and you got the roof and everything, but that's not the point. I mean, the great Super Bowls. I mean, I was in New Orleans the year before, my first Super Bowl in 1980, after the 1980 season. Now, that's a Super Bowl. San Diego, LA, Florida, even the hideous Miami down there. That's not the Miami of Ohio. But, I mean, that's the Super Bowl. But Detroit, oh my God, it was miserable. It was bad. It was cold. It was snowing. I mean, on the day of the game, that's when I learned to always take the first bus. I mean, I got these series of buses for the media. I always take the first bus. I didn't take the first bus. I took maybe the second or third bus. I almost didn't get there. Because not only was it snowing, but all of a sudden, out of clear blue sky, the Vice President of the United States, who was that back then? That was George H. Bush. He was Ronald Reagan's vice president. He decided to come to the Super Bowl. So they blocked off all these roads, and the media bus had to stop about a mile away from the Silver Dome. And so we're like walking out with our big bags and stuff like that to walk through all the snow to kind of get to the thing. And I know you were saying, poor baby, she had to go to the Super Bowl. You had to walk that far. I get it. I hear you. I'm just saying. But the good thing about that Super Bowl was, I'm a JFK assassination buff, all right? So they took us to the Ford Museum, and we were able to see the actual limousine that JFK was riding in on November 22nd, 1963. That was kind of neat, but everything else was awful. All right. But anyway, I'm saying all this because I didn't get a T-shirt from that Super Bowl, but I did get a T-shirt from that AFC Championship game. Oh, yeah. Let me see if I can find it. It's in here somewhere. Here it is. Let me show you what's on the back here. On the back, all right, what's it? Yipes Stripes, okay, and it's got all the Cincinnati Bengals. They signed this. They're also, all the players signed it from that freezing game, the coldest game in history of the NFL, okay. And then the front of it. Here, let me put this thing on. This is from 1982. Wow, it still fits. That's good news for me. That's why I work out. Look at this T-shirt. There it is. I survived the AFC Championship game. Cincinnati 27, San Diego 7, January 10th, 1982. Look at that. I mean, that's a cold guy right there. Okay, and this is an appropriate T-shirt to have on because the Super Bowl's in Atlanta, like I said. Okay, And this is the third one. The other two Super Bowls that were here, back in what, 1992 and around 2000 in that vicinity, both of those Super Bowls that were here, there were ice storms. But you know what? It's not going to be 9 below zero and 59 below zero wind chill factor.